Good evening, friends. My name is Bruno Selvaraj. I'm major in information technology, and my area of concentration is information assurance. And right now, I'm taking this course INT 7213 Emerging Technologies since it's my last semester before I graduate by the end of spring. And right now, I'm working outside as a full-time employee at Blue Cross Blue Shield, Michigan. I work as a systems analyst associate, where I'm currently monitoring the systems which are present with Blue Cross Blue Shield, especially claims module, and I'm the person like who would be taking care of the claims being processed and what kind of jobs are running through the system. And per week, like roughly, like we process about like 30K to 50K claims, which are like both local as well as like out of state of Michigan, like they call it as ITS. And it's kind of like hard to understand for me initially, like where I work with the kinds of like codes and the changes which has been going on. And recently they've made huge changes with the ICD 10 changes, and I had to go through the system and analyze and wonder what kind of things were impacted and this kind of stuff. And right now I'm a full-time student, and I'm quite happy with the job which I'm working right now. And then in the near future, I might consider getting into the security field since that's been my area of concentration. And some of the three emerging technologies which I would like to investigate is like I'm a big fan of, like, since being a security person, like a big fan of encryption. But I'm not like well convinced always like how encryption works, because whenever there's a kind of like secured manner, there's always ways to prevent that and ways to get in. That's what these hackers and hack activities are doing right now. And encryption is something like which is really important these days, because since most of the industries are looking out to get down the costs which are involved in maintenance of the IT systems, they're moving to the cloud platform. Cloud platform, most of the cloud service providers do follow encryption mechanism to secure the data, but the biggest challenge has been there is no standard or like any kind of standard mechanism through which the encryption can be through which the files can be encrypted, for that matter. And there is a new encryption coming up called homomorphic encryption, which is kind of like a alternative to the other encryption mechanisms, where it encrypts the files that could be categorized and mined while still remaining in an encrypted state. So this is an added feature for an encryption where the cloud providers are thinking about encrypting their systems. And the next one is like I'm looking forward for the next generation wireless communication. For example, these days each car or maybe a truck or anything, like for that matter, like the automobile providers are thinking about giving an Wi-Fi connectivity to the machines. And most of the systems are like being diagnosed with the computers and this kind of stuff, and whenever it gets connected with the network, it becomes more vulnerable since there are no like security practices which has been followed. And these days, like, security has been become a big threat with the connectivity through Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth connectivity which is happening, which we are doing it every day, like connecting our devices with our audio platform in our cars. And the next biggest thing I'm looking forward is the biometric devices. Biometric devices these days are used as a physical security um, scanners, and biometric devices, especially with the eyeball scanners and this kind of stuff. And most of the organizations are investing huge money on it, but they're not concerned about the security right now. But I personally feel security has to be first considered before they actually choose the tool in the market. And and the other device which I'm using right now is this device called an app, which can show how many steps I have walked this day. As you can see, it gives a pictorial nice graph, and how many hours of sleep I had, with a breakdown of like proper sleep and disturbed sleep. Like for example, I had a sound sleep of like 3 hours and 9 minutes, and a light sleep of 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm more fascinated how it calculates and plugins the numbers. And since I'm a security guy, I'm kind of like skeptical using this kind of apps, because I'm not sure how much secure they are on my mobile platform. And since they're connected with Bluetooth as well as the wireless connectivity, it's a big challenge. And using web on my cell phone is something like which is like kind of like nice, but at the same time, like I'm not sure like how much secure using through my mobile platform. I know that this is encrypted, but still it's not hard for a hacker to get into my encryption mechanism and maybe like breach it. And and I'm looking forward for this class to learn more about the web platform, since web is something like which is like used all over the world these days, and it is well connected. And and we are more like addicted towards the Facebook and Twitter and this kind of apps. Facebook and Twitter and these kind of apps, like they're kind of like wealth of information for mm, most of the organizations, as well as the sellers and vendors, even on the web platform for that matter. Like if you're thinking of like visiting a website or something like that, you always get suggestions feed that's based on the web and the data which they're collecting from Google or like Firefox, or for that matter any kind of like the browser companies. And I'm looking forward for a good class with all of you, and welcome all. Thanks.